Albert Einstein once said, "The theory of relativity occurred to me by intuition, and music is the driving force behind this intuition. My new discovery is the result of musical perception." When we think of the greatest scientific minds, we usually picture them at a chalkboard writing complex equations, but Albert Einstein attributed his revolutionary breakthrough to a completely different source, his early violin training. He stated that he saw his life in terms of music, viewing the physical universe through artistic intuition and creativity before translating those thoughts into mathematical formulas. But how does musical training influence intelligence and scientific thought? I don't know. And honestly, nobody really knows, but we can do our best. And to do that, we have to first establish a quick functional definition for intelligence. As you know, intelligence is a heavily debated construct. However, for our purposes today, we will look at intelligence through two specific lenses. First, it is the dynamic capacity for critical thinking and abstract reasoning, otherwise known as fluid intelligence. And second, we will look at its self-organizing neural efficiency. Let's break down our first major psychological concept, fluid and crystallized intelligence. While crystallized intelligence is our accumulated factual knowledge, fluid intelligence, which is our main focus, is the ability to think abstractly and solve problems independent of what we already know. What made Einstein truly intelligent was his creativity and imagination. His thought experiments were exceptional demonstrations of fluid intelligence. Using only his mind to run complex simulations, he visualized riding alongside a train moving through space-time at the speed of light while two bolts of lightning struck simultaneously. This scenario allowed him to deduce that time is not absolute, but rather a variable that bends. Running these simulations required immense divergent thinking, which is essentially creative problem solving. To reshape physics, Einstein had to actively challenge fundamental physical laws and formulate a different solution. You may observe that people excel in uniquely different domains and struggle in others. What you are observing is Howard Gardner's argument for multiple intelligence, which proposes distinct, independent intelligence domains. In Einstein's case, we see musical, logical, mathematical, and spatial intelligence. Charles Spearman, on the other hand, proposed the concept of a general intelligence factor, arguing that a shared cognitive core unifies and supports our performance across all intellectual domains. Though seemingly contradictory, these two theories are not mutually exclusive. Multiple studies, like that of Wang et al. And Moreno et al., consistently show strong positive correlations between proficiency in music and increased linguistic and mathematical abilities. This data illustrates that while distinguishable intelligence domains exist, they may be reinforced and linked by an underlying G factor. To find the biological home of this G factor, psychologists Rex Jung and Richard Heyer developed the Parieto-Frontal Integration Theory from neuroimaging and lesion studies. The theory suggests that human intelligence does not live in one specific brain region, but rather in the structural communication efficiency of the networks within our frontal and parietal lobes. In this next section, we will soon see that music is associated with structural changes within these areas, which may influence intelligence. This brings us to the physical evidence, my personal favorite, neuroplasticity. If you're curious and want to know more, please come talk to me in class. Firstly, I'm lonely. Secondly, this is the coolest thing ever. I can talk about it all the time. While musical practice alters many brain regions, we are focusing strictly on the structures that correlate with intelligence. The first major structure is the corpus callosum, a bundle of nerve fibers that bridge the left and right hemispheres. What did the left hemisphere say to the right hemisphere after they arrived in London? Nothing, because the bridge fell down. Sorry for the sudden shift in hemisphere.
totally not because I realized that my piano recording would be too short, but also because I think that this aesthetic better suits the intimidating topic we are about to discuss. It's like something can pop up right behind me any second. Boom! So, long-term musical practice is strongly associated with a physically larger corpus callosum, which, as I've said, is the bridge that connects the right hemisphere to the left hemisphere. You get me? Like London Bridge. Anyways, this structural change may contribute to enhanced interhemispheric connectivity, which would allow the analytical left hemisphere to communicate better and more efficiently with the creative right. Secondly, neuroimaging shows that musicians have increased gray matter volume in several cortical regions, specifically those associated with visual spatial reasoning. This may contribute to Einstein's remarkable capacity for visual imagination. Furthermore, musicians also show increased gray matter in frontal and parietal regions, several of them actually, as well as increased connectivity in the white matter tracks connecting these two areas. Think of the white matter tracks as essentially highways between this point and this point. And what's happened is they've added more lanes and increased the speed limit. See, that wasn't so bad. And it is a lot. But if there is one overarching thing that you can take away from this, it is that musical training is strongly correlated with structural changes that increase neural efficiency. And if you can go one step further, try to remember that the areas associated with these increased efficiencies are specifically between the left and right hemisphere and the frontal and parietal regions. And then you're good.
Now, what does this increased neural efficiency translate to in cognitive psychology? Though it is not definitive, these structural changes are strongly associated with cognitive enhancements such as critical thinking and reasoning, problem solving, processing speed, and even mathematical and linguistic abilities, as I mentioned earlier. The former half characterizes which type of intelligence? Exactly, fluid intelligence. First lens, done. Now, the concept of self-organizing is a tricky one, as it has not been directly observed in this context. However, the structural changes associated with musical training is evidence of autonomous reorganization. Lastly, the concept of intelligence proposed by PFIT is directly optimized by the enhanced neural efficiency that we discussed. Second lens, done. So, does musical training raise your IQ and make you a genius? No, not necessarily. There is little evidence to support this idea. Musicians do score slightly higher in multiple types of intelligence tests. However, we mustn't confuse correlation with causation. It could be that individuals who naturally have higher intelligence are drawn to intellectual hobbies such as music. That does not automatically mean that music makes you smarter. Now, does musical training influence your thought? Very likely, and the evidence, as you've seen, is compelling. I hope that this presentation changed how you view music. It's not merely an artistic hobby, but a full brain workout. While practicing an instrument won't land you a Nobel Prize in theoretical physics, or it might, the correlated cognitive benefits are almost undeniable. If you were to pick up an instrument right now and practice consistently, I'm willing to bet that you will feel cognitively sharpened and mentally refreshed.
Or frustrated with a very deep desire to destroy your instrument.
To close, let's return to Albert Einstein. His violin was not separate from his scientific mind. It was a catalyst for it. Music trained his creativity, imagination, and fluid intelligence, contributing to his unique intuition, perceiving the bending of space-time, revolutionizing physics.